Hello, welcome to Dungeon Dwellers Podcast. I'm your host, Justin. Today we have another comic book review. We're reviewing Grant Morrison's The Green Lantern, Intergalactic Lawman, Volume 1. This is part of Grant Morrison's 2019 run of Green Lantern. It collects issues 1 through 6. Retail price $17.99 US, $23.99 Canadian. And if you want the ISBN, you can just look it up. So, published by DC Comics, of course. So I was in the mood for some space opera comic books, and so I started off with Green Lantern, which I picked this up a couple months back when I first started getting back into comic books last year, before I started the YouTube channel. And boy, is it fucking great to read an actually great comic book. Because Grant Morrison can be hit and miss sometimes with me, but I wonder if that wasn't because I was just reading too much good comic books. And because lately I've been reading a lot of trash lately that I would never read. So it's like, fuck. It's the thing where if you eat steak all the time, right? You don't appreciate how good steak is unless, it's been a while since you've eaten it, right? That's the problem when you only read stuff or consume products that's considered high quality, because sometimes you need to eat trash food. You need to read and watch garbage movies to truly appreciate the good stuff. And boy, is this fucking great. What's great about this comic book is, one, the art by Liam Sharp is fantastic. Like, a lot of great detail, a lot of shading, lots of cool designs for the different alien species and such. And like, I should mention, Grant Morrison used to write Justice League in the 90s. So like, this comic book has a 90s feel to it. Not only because, like, if you look at Green Lantern's costume, it's very reminiscent of the 80s and 90s costume that he would wear. And then there's the fact that you see a brief look at the Justice League and Adam Strange, and they're all wearing their 90s costumes, but a little bit different. But it's very reminiscent of it. Like, if you go to page, where was it? Fuck, I just had it. If you pick it up, or if you go on a scanlation site. What page is that? Oh, it's not fucking marked. God damn it. It's like in the third issue. Yeah, you see like the Justice League, and you even see Kendra Saunders' Hawkgirl. That's how, like, they have Kendra Saunders costume, and you have like Aquaman is wearing the long hair and the beard like he had in the 90s. Holy fuck, that is fucking amazing. Yeah, so the story for this comic book is basically, there's some weird stuff going on in space. This group of aliens calling themselves the Black Stars, led by Controller Mu, is going around collecting weapons, trying to form this ultimate peacekeeping force, going around destroying planets that they feel like are immoral, right? And at the same time, Hal Jordan is on Earth. He's suspended for for whatever bullshit he did to piss off the Guardians. The Guardians of that run the Green Lantern Corps are very strict with their rules, right? So what ends up happening is, like, aliens show up on Earth. There's an injured Green Lantern who lends his power battery to Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan recharges his battery, captures the aliens, right, and brings them back to Oa, which is the HQ for the Guardians, meets with one of the Guardians and basically lays down this red herring, hey, that there may be a traitor in the Green Lantern Corps. After that, there's like a story about these alien slavers that going around stealing planets and then selling them for auction, and then you see like a bunch of different like DC Comics space villains. Like you have like the Starro people are there. You got people from Apocalypse and other comic books that I don't know about. And somebody buys Earth. Earth is one of the kidnapped planets, and somebody calls the Shepherd, who looks a lot like God, buys Earth, and then like Hal Jordan goes to rescue Earth with the help of his Green Lantern Corps, but the slavers hired the Black Stars, so there's a fight between the Black Stars, which even though they hype up the Black Stars, the Green Lantern Corps wins pretty easily. Most of that issue deals with like Hal Jordan trying to talk his way, like negotiating with the Shepherd, who's like this godlike creature who tricked the inhabitants of Earth into wanting to go along with him because he basically drugs the whole planet and gives them superpowers. So they want to go along with the Shepherd, even though it's revealed that he's like he's like some kind of horrific space monster, and he's going to fatten up the Earth for like 1,000 years and then eats it, right? And for some reason the inhabitants of Earth are like, yeah, we're cool with that as long as we get superpowers for the next 1,000 years. We don't give a shit. So Hal Jordan's like, yeah, fuck this. I'm gonna rescue you guys anyway, because you guys are under his influence, right? And obviously a string of insults get thrown at Hal Jordan's way. He gets called a fascist, of course. Defeats the Shepherd, who looks like God, with light construct of a punching glove. Because like Hal Jordan's kind of has a limited imagination with his light constructs, even though that's kind of like harsh, considering when he was created during like what, the 50s and 60s. So of course the artists back then are going to be kind of, you know, limited on what their drawings would what they could create with their drawings, right? So after he rescues Earth, him and his fellow other Lantern Corps defeat the Black Stars. They run away, and they go to free some of the other prisoners, and the other prisoners were basically poisoned and were aging they were aging super fast, because the slavers didn't want basically poison their own merchandise, because they rather them be killed than to lose it, right? And Hal Jordan, right, wants to kill and does kill one of the slavers, the slavers leaders, who's like rubbing his hands like like a greedy merchant, like saying like, you can't kill me, I'm just doing business. The weak prey on the strong prey on the weak. And he's like, yeah, the strong prey on the weak, right? What does that make you? So he constructs nails and fires them into the fucking alien and kills them. And that gets Hal Jordan in trouble with the Guardians. They do this fake out where they kick him out of the Green Lantern Corps, and he tries to join the Black Stars. When really what's going on is basically they're parroting Infernal Affairs, or the department that Scorsese remake of Infernal Affairs, which is a Hong Kong crime cop movie that a lot of people don't know that the department was a remake of that Hong Kong movie, which really pissed me off because I was a fan of that movie when the department got made. I was like so pissed that a lot of the critics were like sucking Scorsese's ego and was not mentioning the Hong Kong movie starring what was his name, Tony Young and Andy Lau, Infernal Affairs, which is a fucking amazing movie if you haven't seen it. And then, like, obviously, there's this really cool issue where he goes for his training slash Hal Jordan's training and slash like initiation to join the Black Stars. He goes on. They leave him stranded on this vampire fucking hellscape world where he has to collect parts of his new Black Star armor, right, to complete his initiation. But like he has to collect them one at a time and fight like monsters, while at the same time he's being poisoned by the atmosphere of this vampire homeworld, which was a really cool issue, right? And then the next issue is the controller Mu is occupying Ran, which is the planet where Adam Strange lives on. Which Adam Strange is this space superhero in the DC Comics universe. He mostly teleports to different places and fight monsters, right? Where there's this cool duel between Adam Strange and Hal Jordan, where Adam Strange thinks that Hal Jordan's being controlled by the Black Stars when really Hal Jordan's undercover. So they have this fake duel, right? And obviously they team up and fight Controller Mu at the end of the issue. So I would say if you're a fan of space operas or like space superhero stuff, this is great. There's a lot of cool psychedelic shit in this comic book, because like, you know, space comic books are known for their psychedelic themes, where you get some of the space horror stuff in the earlier issues, which kind of sucks. So there's a point in the early issues where you're following this Green Lantern, right, who gets his finger cut off in a fight with this spider pirate, and the finger that got cut off had his power ring on it. So you think, oh fuck, he's not gonna be able to use his Green Lantern powers because he got his ring finger cut off, right? No, he can still use his powers and defeats the pirate bitch, but then he gets killed by some monster you don't see. So at some point through the comic graphic novel, you're expecting for Hal Jordan to fight that monster, and it never happened. So I was a little disappointed at that. But I don't know, maybe, you know, they'll show that monster at some point further on. This comic book does reference Hal Jordan's death and rebirth, so this is obviously takes place modern day, but it has that 90s aesthetic, which is fucking awesome. Though one thing I have to mention, just like that other 2019 graphic novel I bought from DC, it has the cheap paper pages. It's not magazine paper anymore, so I don't know if DC had to do that to lower the cost of printing graphic novels. But yeah, it's that cheap paper that will fade under like bright lights and shit. So you're gonna, you're not going to want to leave this graphic novel open anywhere. You want to keep it closed when you're not reading, or the pages will fade, unfortunately. But other than that, it's a great comic book. I fucking loved it. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. It was amazing, dude. I can't wait to read more. It was definitely worth the $25 I paid to get this. So I'm definitely going to pick up more volumes of Grant Morrison's run on Green Lantern. Which, if you want to know what other great comic book runs that Grant Morrison wrote that are good, he wrote Doom Patrol from the 80s, which is great. A lot of people love his Animal Man run, which I liked, but there's a lot of animal activism shit in there, which I don't mind. But then he also pushes veganism, which I fucking hate. Because like, you can't be an animal lover and at the same point push veganism, because what ends up happening is you have these vegan idiots that have dogs that will feed their dogs vegetables and shit and end up killing their fucking dogs, because dogs are meat eaters and they need to eat meat. All right, so that I don't like that shit. But yeah, aside from that, it's a Animal Man by Grant Morrison is still a great run, and like his Batman run, a lot of people love. I never got a chance to read it. I did read his like Dick Grayson and Damian Wayne Batman and Robin run, which was good. I only read the first 3 volumes though, but it was definitely worth the money I paid for it. So yeah, that's all I gotta say for this review. Unfortunately, I was supposed to do a comic book haul video today, but like I called up my comic book store, and despite the fact that, hey, the restrictions are off, it's not like he can't like let people in until like next like Wednesday or something. So I won't be able to do another comic book haul video until like this weekend. And my next comic book reviews are going to be Warlock, Adam Warlock by Jim Starlin. I have like the complete collection. So I'm going to review that, and I'm going to review the Meta Barons, which is this like Alejandro Jodorowsky graphic novel, which apparently he did comic books. I had no idea. It looks fucking cool, so I can't wait to read and review that. Alright guys, that's it for today.